Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. I'm really glad you clicked on this video because today we're talking about someone whose name has suddenly popped back into conversations after years of staying relatively quiet. Matt Kalil. You might remember him as a dominant presence on the football field, or maybe you've recently seen his name trending online and wondered, wait, what's going on now? Either way, settle in, because this is one of those stories that blends success, pressure, privacy, and the complicated reality of life after fame. Matt Kalil's story starts in a way that feels almost tailor-made for sports greatness. He came from a football family, dominated at the college level, and entered the NFL with massive expectations. Being drafted 4th overall is no small thing. It's the kind of moment that changes your life overnight. One day you're a college athlete, the next you're carrying the hopes of an entire franchise. Can you imagine that kind of pressure at such a young age? How would you handle knowing millions of people have opinions about your performance every single week? Early in his NFL career, Kalil looked like he was living the dream. He earned recognition quickly and became known as a reliable left tackle, one of the most important but least glamorous positions in football. No flashy touchdowns, no highlight reel celebrations, just consistent work in the trenches. And maybe that says something about his personality too. Some people thrive in the spotlight. Others just want to do the job, do it well, and go home. But as the years went on, injuries and expectations started to collide. Anyone who follows sports knows how fast the narrative can change. One season you're praised, the next you're criticized. And that raises an interesting question. When success comes early, does it make setbacks feel heavier? Does the world allow athletes space to struggle, or do we only celebrate them when they're winning? Eventually, Matt Kalil stepped away from the NFL. Retirement from professional sports is something we don't talk about enough. When the cheering stops and the routine disappears, who are you then? For Kalil, life moved toward business ventures, family, and a quieter existence away from stadium lights. For a while, it seemed like he had successfully transitioned into a more private chapter. And then, suddenly, his name was everywhere again. This time, it wasn't about football. It was about personal matters becoming public conversation. Without diving into sensational details, what's important here is the bigger picture. A private relationship, long since ended, resurfaced in a very public way, sparking online reactions, jokes, opinions, and debates. And it forces us to pause and ask something important. When someone has been famous before, do they ever truly get their privacy back? In today's world, one comment, one clip, or one moment can travel faster than truth, context, or empathy. Social media doesn't ask whether a story should be shared. It only asks whether it can be shared. And once it's out there, the impact can stretch far beyond the original people involved. Families, partners, and even children can feel the ripple effects. If you were in that position, how would you protect your peace? Would you stay silent, or would you speak up? What makes this situation especially thought-provoking is how it highlights the tension between humor and harm. The internet often treats personal stories as entertainment, but behind every headline is a real human being dealing with real consequences. At what point does curiosity cross the line into intrusion? And as viewers, do we ever stop to ask whether clicking, sharing, or commenting is actually helping anyone? This isn't just about Matt Kalil. It's about the world we're all participating in. Fame doesn't come with an off switch, and privacy feels more fragile than ever. Stories like this remind us that success doesn't shield anyone from vulnerability. In fact, sometimes it makes you more exposed. So here's something to think about. If you achieve something big early in life, would you want that moment to define you forever? Or would you hope people would allow you to evolve, change, and move on? And when someone's past becomes a trending topic again, do we owe them understanding, or at least restraint? As this story continues to unfold, it's worth remembering that there's more to any person than the version we see online. Matt Kalil is more than a draft pick, more than a headline, and more than a trending name. He's a former athlete, a businessman, a husband, a father, and a human being navigating life like the rest of us, just under a much brighter microscope. Now, I'd really love to hear from you. Do you think public figures should be held to different standards when it comes to privacy? Or should everyone, famous or not, be allowed to leave the past where it belongs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's have a respectful, honest conversation. If you enjoyed this video and found it thoughtful, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Share this with someone who enjoys deeper conversations about culture, fame, and real life beyond the headlines. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.